Joseph Crew here. Welcome to my show. Today is Tuesday, September the 2nd, 2025. We want to hear about last night's North Carolina football against TCU. Bill Belichick's debut last night was terrific. The fans are happy and they love to see it. Unfortunately, after going up 7-0, Bill Belichick's debut had took a turn to the worst. It was last night, and it was just one of those times, one of those things where I just see that I never seen. We never know that North Carolina football is going to be terrific for Bill Belichick as the coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. They came out great, but came out in the disasters. One game of last night's game has come to coming and this game has come to the end. It's just like this, but it wasn't. It's not the end of the war. Can Bill Belichick's season turn this thing around? What could happen if Carolina football to get together and just try to sort things out? What is happening up here last night against TCU? And it was just something that you can't even imagine what is going on here. But don't I gotta tell you what, this North Carolina team came out hot last night, and then they got no answers last night. It just is what it is. Can they turn this game around? Week 2, they're gonna face Charlotte. Starts at 7 o'clock, and then they're gonna face Richmond. That's on September the 13th on a Saturday. So they got more games to go. They're gonna face week 2 to week 14. They're gonna try to face Charlotte, Richmond on September 13th, UFC on September 20th. October 4th will be Clemson, the number 18, and then October the 17th will be facing California. So they got about 13 weeks to go. Let's take a look what went down last night. I mean, look, it's just an amount of time. We see North Carolina looking good this year, but not so fast as now anyone's watched. So what I do find out last night, man, they got drugged for real. North Carolina need to get it together. Now it says this. Now just like this, it just came crashing down on Bill Belichick's party. Now it just says this. Now it says this. Bill Belichick had welcome to college football morning on Monday night as his North Carolina Tar Heels were blown out by the TCU Horns Frogs 48 to begin the 2025 college football season. It was a night filled with exception, celebrity appearances, and poor hyper Kellen Stadium, as Belichick's first taste of being a college football head coach starting at home on home turf in Chapel Hill. The Tar Heels were hoping to usher in a new era with a victory to not only notch another force under Belichick's resume, but get the program heading in the right direction from the jump. The Home Frogs had another day in mind, though, as they were unfazed by the screaming crowd with over 50,000, which included the likes of Randy Moss, Michael Jordan, Roy Williams, Lawrence Taylor, and many more. The Belichick era began with an impressive North Carolina opening drive touchdown as the Tar Heels went 83 yards down the field with Cabell Hood capping it with his first score of the season. But it was all TCU after that, scoring 41 unanswered points on their way to the easy victory. Now, Home Frogs quarterback Josh Hoover was dictionary of the Tar Heels defense, and it started with a 27-yard strike to Jordan Dow, who was a favorite all night long in the past game, for a touchdown that tied the game at 7 apiece following the extra point. TCU got more physical on defense, especially at the line of scrimmage, which harder what USC wanted to do when they had possession. The Home Frogs held down to three straight 3-and-outs, one taking the lead with a field goal early in the second quarter. North Carolina seemed to get some momentum back when Hoover's pass was too high for his intended receiver, and the Tar Heels' Cable Cost made an athletic interception to flip the field. But USC quarterback Gary Lopez gave the ball right back to TCU, and it was in the worst way as veteran safety Bud Clark jumped and wood and took the interception 25 yards to the house for the pick six that made it 17-7. The Home Frogs were in the half with a short field goal, taking the commanding 20-7 lead into the locker room as the crowd was stunned. That feeling wouldn't end, though, as the very first play of the second half was a 75-yard touchdown run by Home Frogs star running back Kevon Bonds, who went untouched right down the right sideline to break the game open. USC was unable to come back at that point, as the Home Frogs continued to run up the score with a running back Trent Bauer rushing for 28 yards to make it 34-7. And Lopez was sacked by Jonathan Banks, leading his Home Frogs teammate Devin Dale scored up the fumble football and ran back 37 yards. 37 yards for that another touchdown. Well, I mean, I couldn't believe what has happened to this point to North Carolina. They got stunned, they got beat up, and they got to do something. They got to win some more games. When they get to week 2, they will face Richmond, and they're going to face Water and Charlotte on September the 13th. So don't worry about the fans on UNC. The UNC fans, don't even worry about it, because it's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen again. When they bounce back, they're going to do that, and they're going to do that in style to keep this team alive, to keep this program alive. Bill Belichick had just lost his first loss as head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Boy, I can't stand to see him looking like this. It was a new era and they lost. But anyway, they'll come back. They'll come back. I have a bit. I feel for Bill Belichick now. Yeah, I mean, look, the North Carolina Tar Heels are looking pretty good. They're going to be looking pretty good for real, but they haven't had any deal yet. They haven't had any deal yet. They were fell asleep last night, and you had just said, look, you gotta keep everything going happening. It's happening so far and so fast. You just never know what's going to happen. You just never know. So I have seen for this. TCU had a great game last night on the road to face North Carolina Tar Heels, to face UNC. One UNC, that's what it is. And it's just stunned. The crowd just stunned. Everybody was just stunned. The fans telling them, good game, coach. The UNC fans tell Bill Belichick, you'll get him next time. We'll get him next time. We'll get him next time. I fell for him. But anyway, I cannot see that happening again. They only lost one game this season. They only lost one game this season. Hopefully they'll get it back. They'll bounce back. They'll regroup. Now you know we got some more college football games on Saturdays. We got pro football games on Sundays. We got the high school games on Fridays. So for real, this is all about the scene. This is all about North Carolina. They gotta get this straight. They're gonna regroup, bounce back, get to the draw ball, whatever. And this is the new era of the North Carolina Tar Heel. For last night, where I just saw what a disaster. What a disaster. North Carolina Tar Heels had got to do better. They got to do better. They got to win some games. And they're going to do that. And the only way to do that is get the momentum back. Go under the top 25 rankings. And all that. Play defense. They need more defense. They need more speed. They need more offense going on and on and on and on and on. So we're going to learn about that for real. But anyway, there are tough times last night. It just didn't go on. Now, well, no, Penn State. Now, look at this. Ohio State's victory over Texas has put the Buckeyes back at number one. The defending national champions jumped 2 spots in the AP Top 25 from number 3 to number 1 after beating the preseason number 1 Longhorns 14-3. Texas fell 6 spots to number 7 with a loss, given how close to the game was even as Texas offense is struggling. It's not surprised to see the Longhorns stay in the top 10. Penn State stayed at number 2 after an easy win over Nevada, while LSU jumped up 6 spots to number 3 after their 17-10 win at Clemson. Miami moved up 5 spots to number 5 after beating Notre Dame 27-24. Georgia is at number 4. Now, and Notre Dame dropped to number 9. Oregon moved up a spot to number 6, just ahead of Texas, and South Carolina runs out the top 10 after its win on Sunday over Virginia Tech. Alabama was the team that had the biggest drop after week 1. Crimson tied with 14 point favorites ahead of Dell. 31-17 lost at Florida State and fell from number 8 to number 21 after the loss. The Seminoles were on rank in the preseason poll and moved on to number 14. TCU got the 6th most votes of the teams outside the top 25 after the Home Frogs demolished North Carolina on Monday night. TCU scored 41 straight points in a 48-14 win over the Tar Heels in Bill Belichick's first game as North Carolina's coach. Week 2 features just one matchup between ranking teams. At number 15, Michigan visit number 18, Oklahoma. Number 11, Illinois heads to Duke, and number 20, Ole Miss visit Kentucky, and season after the Wildcats took down the Rebels in Oxford. So we'll see what happens in week number 2 coming this Saturday. And I hope the Tar Heels will win. They'll be bounced back. Don't want to Bill Belichick already. And good luck for the team. Just bounce back and get a first win. Till then, I'm Joseph Kura. Peace and God bless.